Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and talk about this sexually degenerate white teacher, which nobody should be surprised about because this is so frequent among them that really we can just be talking about it just based on the sheer fact that it's Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and you can best believe there will be another story coming out if it hasn't already happened. 2 hours after this one dropped, there could be another one that came out where you have one of a sexually degenerate teacher engaging in sexual degeneracy in the classroom. Now, my thing of it is again, this is what our children are subjected to as a result of integration, because keep in mind, white women are about 85 to 90% of the teachers in the school system. And I do believe that that is by design for a multitude of reasons that we won't get into on this video, because they really don't apply here. But ultimately, you have sexual degenerates in the classroom, not only indoctrinating your children into inferiority, but apparently having sex with students while their friends watch. Because again, this is just their sick pedophilia mindset. And like I say, young or old, male or female, foreign or domestic, they really are the same. Like they're not, the white woman gives birth to the white man. He comes from her. So ultimately, her pathology is more indicative of the issue than his is. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, specifically the men in our community who don't and never have saw these women as the threat that they really are. Now, I want to get into this video clip. I'm going to show you one video clip and then part of another video clip, because I want you guys to see certain language that they use when it applies to these teachers. And then we'll come back and we'll go over some additional information.
We're learning more about the case against the teacher accused of having sex with her 13-year-old student.
Your name and your date of birth, please.
Brittany Zamora, 1591.
28-year-old Brittany Zamora is accused of having sex with the boy 4 times. Once, she allegedly told another student to stand guard outside the classroom to make sure nobody intruded. Police also released notes they say were passed between the teacher and the student. "You are sexy," reads one. Another says, "You will be my wife sometime in this crazy life." In an exclusive interview, the former assistant principal at the school is speaking out. Did that surprise you to learn that she's now accused of having this sexual relationship?
I'm not too surprised. I always wondered about it.
Christina Alvarez worked at the school when Zamora was hired.
She was very friendly and hands-on with the boys from the sports that she coached. They would kind of hang on her shoulder and hang on her back with their arm around her. She wouldn't say, "Oh, that's not appropriate." She just would kind of go with the flow and kind of welcome the advances.
Police interviewed a student who says he came across Zamora and the boy being intimate inside her car.
I was one of the witnesses, or one of the people that saw Ms. Zamora and my friend touch each other.
Ross Bridgelsoft represents the alleged victim and his family.
The parents asked him if he was in a relationship with somebody, and he revealed it was his 6th grade teacher. They were expecting another little girl in the class. They were shocked and horrified to find out that it was, in fact, their son's 6th grade teacher.
Zamora remains behind bars awaiting trial.
So is there anything you just want the court to know about whether or not I should release you?
I'd like to go home to my husband.
Brittany Zamora has pled not guilty to all the charges, including 9 counts of sexual contact with a minor.
Did you have an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old boy, one of your students?
You're here on a new case out of Superior Court for 4 counts of sexual conduct with a minor.
27-year-old Brittany Zamora keeping quiet in her cuffs. The 6th grade teacher at Las Brisas Academy in Goodyear for just 1 year before being arrested.
2 counts of child molestation, class 2 felonies, and 1 count of obscene material transmittal, class 4 felony.
The text messages that were found are sexual in nature that allege an ongoing relationship between the two.
I want to F so bad, baby. Those times weren't enough for me. I know, baby. I want you every day with no time limit. If I could quit my job and F you all day, I would.
Okay, bombshell accusations and shocking text messages. A 27-year-old married teacher accused of having sex with a 13-year-old student. And now salacious details reveal They had sex in the classroom in front of another student. So our big question, what would possess someone to do this? Joining us by phone, Bree Burkett, reporter for the Arizona Republic. Bree, thank you so much for joining us. You know, first and foremost, I'm just sort of curious, can you give us what is new in this case? A lot of our viewers are really trying to wrap our head around, like I said, who is this person?
You know what, at this point, we don't really know a lot more about Brittany Zamora, but we did learn a lot of really salacious details about what exactly went on between her and the 13-year-old victim. Recently released interview footage did show the victim as well as the victim's friend giving more insight into their relationship, including that they did allegedly have sexual conduct during class time while other students were in the room. And they did have sex while another student was in the room, allegedly. He was supposed to keep watch.
How long did this relationship continue? And I'm curious, what was the precipice? I mean, we talk about how she initially had asked really all of her students, was it to download an app, and that's how the conversations began?
So the school used this app called Classcraft, which was supposed to be for the students to communicate with their teacher. And so Ms. Zamora apparently asked for the student to message her one day while she was going to be bored after school. We don't know the nature of her conversation with the victim, but we did know it quickly turned into flirting, and eventually it became sexual in nature. And this allegedly started sometime before Christmas, and she was arrested in March.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was his parents who eventually was able to see these conversations, and that's how their relationship sort of came to light.
Mm-hmm. They had a cell phone monitoring app on their son's cell phone that basically flags the usage of the word baby. And, you know, at first the mom thought that, oh, he's just talking to a girl. You know, he's a teenage boy, that's normal, until she saw Ms. Zamora's Instagram handle in the conversation. And she realized real quick, oh, this is not good. And from there, she allegedly confronted her son about it, and he did talk about what happened and told him, you know, he had sex with her.
What is Zamora's side of the story here? I mean, I know that she's apologized, correct? She's no longer working, obviously. I would assume that her life is really over.
So she hasn't talked about it publicly. She's still being held in jail at this point. The case is still ongoing in criminal court. So we don't know. She didn't do an interview. She just asked for an attorney.
Now, you guys saw those news clips, and you saw how, number one, the narrative is more towards, although they know, and I'm specifically referring to the headline news, although they know this is very common behavior for white women. Again, just in the white community alone, the rate of sexual deviant crimes is the highest in this country. Okay, nobody commits more sexually deviant crimes than white women and white men. They are the rapists, they are the pedophiles, there are the molesters. We know this is just who they are. So it's really interesting how she then goes into this question talking about what would possess someone to do this, indicating that somehow something other than her sexually deviant nature is what caused her to do this. And make no mistakes, this is a pathology for them. Sexual deviancy runs rampant in their community. But also, I want you guys to have noticed the mentality of this Brittany Zamora. When they showed the clips of her being in court and being arraigned, in one of them she was smiling, and the other one she looked like she wanted to laugh. She's saying that she's not guilty. She has no remorse for this because she's seen how these white teachers are given a slap on the wrist. She knows that she's protected in society, and she knows that that white man and that white woman is going to look out for her. That's why in the clip they're alluding to her taking a plea deal and possibly facing no jail time. Meanwhile, you have a child rapper being brought up on felony charges for selling his own CDs in the mall. Now, this is where I say politics could play a role in this, because Black people act like they're desperate to vote. They just have to vote, although they never get anything out of it. This is a part of our conditioning. So one of the things that people can propose to this through this election is to start asking what's going to happen to these pedophile teachers who are sitting up as predators in the classroom teaching your children, because a lot of these sexually deviant predatory teachers, they target Black males. And right now, the young Black boys, they don't get the protection from, they don't get any protection at all. In fact, there were cases where you have the black boy being who's the victim, and he's been looked at like he's the perpetrator, like he somehow molested his teacher as a child. White woman did this. But these aren't things that are addressed. Like, everybody just gets to come in and do stuff and victimize our community. And we talk about voting, and we talk about ADOS movements, and we talk about reparations, but reparations aren't going to solve all the problems in the black community. And this is a huge issue. If you can have them talking about Jussie Smollett and R. Kelly and doing these dumb documentaries on Michael Jackson, who has already been exonerated of any sexual assault charges, these predatory teachers are running around all willy-nilly, not being held accountable. She's not concerned about any consequences going to come to her because she already knows what situation and what system she lived in. Those text messages were very clear. You can look at her language. You can look at everything, how she conducted herself. She is not concerned. She's not even the least bit concerned of any type of consequences that will come to her as a result of her sexually deviant behaviors, because she knows in a system of white supremacy, no one has more power than the white woman than the white man. But you guys let me know what you think. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in the next video.